from what we telling them. It's your boy Man Lion Jazz back again with another video, fam. Right now we got football made simple, blood. Now this I had to watch, blood. Now as you know, every Friday I'm supposed to do a sports, well, mostly football, but just sports in general, fam. You get me? But this last 2 Fridays I completely forgot about it, and I do apologize for that, because the Fridays would hit and I like all my days where I literally forgot, blood, that I was supposed to, you know what I mean? But today I remembered, blood. But I had to react to this one here because you see, I have a lot of friends, or a few friends, that basically just support a team for the sake of supporting it and to gloat and to say, oh, my team's better than yours. But like, do they really like the game like that? Like, they won't really watch their teams like that. They don't really know what's going on in the footballing world. Like, they ask about you have to tell them what's going on with their team, blood. You get me, blood? So yeah, it's just a long thing, but like, people are telling me that we got lucky and they didn't even really watch the game. You get me? Because this game we did not get lucky, blood. Even PSG fans were all on Twitter saying we're getting outplayed, blood. If we're chatting about the season where Oli got appointed as the permanent manager, like that win, that was a bit lucky, fam. You get me? That was a bit lucky. But this one right here, there was no luck involved, fam. So I just have to break it down for the dummies in the back. You get me, blood? So yeah, let's get into it.
Analysis of the group stage match between Tuchel's PSG and Solskjaer's United at the Parc des Princes. In what promised to be an interesting encounter,
what formation do we play as well? Play the 4-2-3, winning it. And the reason why that formation worked is because I've always said, if Solskjaer wants to play a 4-2-3-1, you can't play Pogba and Matic. Matic is not mobile, and Pogba just isn't a CDM. The best people, even though they're not better than Pogba, you know what I mean, fam, still McTominay and Fred, because they're you know what I mean, fam, that's the duo you need to play in that pivot, blood. You get me, blood? Because they'll do more of a job than them, man, fam. Pogba, blood, when we're getting counter attack, Pogba's just there, just doing his little jog, from our Fred and Mutter, they're chasing you down, fam. You know what I mean? They're willing to put in more work, and Matic would do that, but he's just not, you know, he's not built for that anymore. You get me?
The match ended 2-1 to United, thanks to a Fernandes penalty and a Rashford winner, whilst Martial's own goal spoiled De Gea's clean sheet.
I was salty about that right there, because De Gea had a very good game that game, blood. And that thing you went in, you could even see how angry he was, or upset he was, you know what I mean, when that goal went in, not gonna lie, you know, yeah. And when it was Martial as well, fam, I don't know how that went in, because I can't remember watching the game, it's like, you know, he didn't move his head, like, you know, when you want the ball to go, you know what I mean, he didn't really move his head. It's like he just left it there. I think, oh, he moved it, but he moved it at the right time, and it just, you know what I mean, off the luscious throw, you get me, and just went into the back of the net.
XG indicated it was a fairly even game, 1.55 to 1.45, and it did take a moment of magic to win it. But what tactics did both managers use? Let's take a look. And a huge shout out to everyone supporting FMS on Patreon. If you want to consider joining the Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple and you get early access to videos, exclusive videos, and much more.
Standard.
A quick reminder of the formations used by both sides, as seen on the OneFootball app. OneFootball will get you match updates, formation updates, as well as player and team stats.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Did you play a 5 at the back? Because that was the game. Tell it. Oh yeah, we did play a 5 at the back, blood. We did, didn't we, blood? Yeah. That is that game, yeah. Because Maguire was injured, Tuanzebe, Neymar, Mbappe did nothing. Tuanzebe won Bissaka, blood. And then Tuanzebe didn't start the game after. This guy literally just pocketed one of the most talented young player in the world, fam. And then next game, Maguire just waltzes back in, fam. That was annoying, not gonna lie.
Much more. And the best part is, you can get it absolutely free through the sponsored link in the description below. Let's start by looking at what PSG did on the ball, as they had the majority of it with 61% possession. From goal kicks, when United sat in a higher block, Keylor Navas generally looked to chip the ball to the fullbacks, who were the free options. And in open play, from deeper areas, we did see similar patterns initially. The United front two would press the centre-backs, and Fernandes being deeper on Danilo, making it harder to progress centrally. But on the left-hand side, Mbappe would stay high and wide initially in this phase, which would take up Wan-Bissaka at times, thus freeing the outlet pass into Kurzawa. But PSG were determined to make attacking inroads down the left-hand side, so to increase the overloads that they had in these regions.
See, this is what I don't get, blood. From the time you have Wan-Bissaka on that side, blood, for me personally, the best one-on-one defender in the world, blood. Why are you gonna do that to yourself, bro? Why are you gonna do that to yourself? I get Mbappe and Neymar on that side, but you know what I mean, fam? Like, try the other side, my guy. Try the other side. But it's just like Man City, blood, when Sterling was trying to do his little. I don't think Sterling's ever beat Wan-Bissaka, you know. Till this day, he's never dribbled past him, I don't think, fam. And then he was struggling. Then Mahrez tried to came over and do his bullshit flip-flops and 5-star skills and got shut down as well, blood. Like, bruv, do you man not get the memo, blood? That's Wan-Bissaka we're talking about. Go try on the other side, fam. Go do something back there, fam. And more times, sure, defensively, he does do his job. Not gonna lie, fam. More times than not, he does his thing, fam. Against, because he did it to Mahrez, fam. He's done it to who did he recently play, fam? Who did we recently play, blood, that we played? Bro, I can't even remember, because, yeah, my memory is just ass, fam. You get me, but not gonna lie, fam. But more times than not, defensively, he will do his job, blood.
We did at times see a central midfielder, either Gay or Danilo, drop into the left centre-back position. This would then free Kurzawa to become the de facto left winger, whilst Mbappe moved more centrally. This would also allow Neymar to move deeper into the midfield to pick up the ball in space, from where he could look to create, which we did see a lot of.
Yeah, you did, blood. You know what I mean? And he did his thing from time to time, but more times he was just getting chased down by Fred and that man was not letting him go, blood. There was a time where Borden don't put a tackle him. Bang! It was beautiful, man, honestly.
From here, he often looked to drive up the pitch in this inside left channel. And as always, he looked to take on men in this zone, and he did cause them problems with the game.
Mbappe, with players like Mbappe, from that's his downfall. You know what I mean? When you're taking a player like Mbappe, you gotta realize that he's not a 100% team player. More times, he's just gonna try to do his own thing from, and that's what you gotta realize and willing to sacrifice, blood. Because yeah, he's a good player and that, fam, but more times when the team's just trying to do his thing, like. I have a friend, blood, that does the same thing. You just, like, the team's just like, yeah, okay, when is it gonna, you know what I mean? Okay, we'll just let him do his thing. We'll wait. Oh, okay, come, now we can do our thing. You get me, blood?
Game high 4 completed dribbles. But as the match went on, United began to be more proactive, with tracking PSG's build-up play in deeper areas, particularly the movements of the PSG forwards when they were dropping deep. We would at times see Wan-Bissaka drop to pick up Neymar deeper, or alternatively, Tuanzebe could push deep. And the back five would seamlessly shift across to form a back four, whilst preventing the midfield overload.
That's the beautiful thing about a 5 at the back, fam. You can form it into different things if the coach is right, you get me?
So, at the halfway mark, we saw Tuchel aim to adapt, switching from the 4-3-3 to a more dedicated 4-2-3-1, with Moise Kean being the central attacking outlet. In addition, in the first half, Di Maria played more like a traditional winger, hugging the touchline, and in the second half, we saw him take up the attacking midfield position more often.
I even forgot Di Maria played, blood. He didn't do anything. He must be better angry, you know. Like, the grudge he has against Man United, and he can never beat us, fam. Unlucky, blood. Maybe next year.
This had a few key effects, primarily meaning PSG operated with a double pivot now, and Neymar had even more license to roam.
Also, in the midfield, Danilo's the one that was really active, fam. That was really doing anything. All of the rest of them were just, yeah, blood, quiet, blood. Even Herrera, fam. It's sad we had to see Herrera go, man. You know what I mean? Honestly, blood.
Di Maria taking up his attacking midfield position. Neymar primarily roamed by shifting deep into the left-hand channel, but this did create problems. With Mbappe tucking in whenever Neymar dropped deeper, Kurzawa still looked to push high up to provide the width. In the first half, Gay dropping would have provided some cover on the left-hand side, but with only a double pivot, PSG dropped a midfielder deep less often, meaning that Kimpembe had to shift left to cover the space. Neymar is a risk-taking player, so at times his attempted passes from these deep regions resulted in turnovers in dangerous zones, and Rashford would be able to utilise his pace against a sub-optimally positioned Kimpembe, leading to most of United's chances.
Kimpembe, Rashford, Kimpembe.
But the new PSG shape
Rashford was dilly-dallying right there, fam. No cap.
Also gave them a few advantages, primarily getting more men between the lines, and with Di Maria central, this would create an overload. And Mbappe would also come in central, drawing Wan-Bissaka, so this would open up space for Kozawa on the overlap, and he had the second most attempted crosses for the side, with 6. This may have been why Solskjaer switched to a midfield diamond, as the additional body gave them more balance in midfield and reduced the space between the lines. But how about United? What did they look to do with their 39% possession? Well, when they were still using the 5-3-2 in the first half, they generally struggled to hold on to the ball. At times, they did manage to get out from the pressure, however. PSG in their high block were well positioned to press United's centre-backs man-to-man. However, Neymar wasn't active in the press, so it was effectively more like a 3 versus 2 instead. So at times we saw United push Tejas right up the pitch as a winger to provide the width, whilst Shaw shifted into the left-back zones to provide the width. At times, Herrera would push higher to cover Shaw as the free man, while with Rashford higher up the pitch drawing in the fullback, the longer ball to Tejas was still an option.
Standard.
And because United were generally short in midfield, we did see Martial often look to drop deeper to link play instead.
That's one thing you
However,
got to sacrifice.
Solskjaer's shift to the 4-4-2 diamond in the second half.
Like if you ain't completely dominating, fam, and you're going against a team that, you know what I mean, you struggle in the midfield, but that's the only thing.
Really helped to kick United into gear.
Plus you got Bruno, then you got McTominay up Fred, that underball, fam. When it comes to like the passing, they're not like the best at the club. You get me?
When in possession. With PSG having shifted to the 4-2-3-1, with Neymar as the attacking midfielder, whose defensive work rate is pretty low, PSG effectively only had Danilo and Herrera in midfield. Pogba and Fernandes were positionally fluid, continually switching and looking to find different spaces, and because of the numerical advantage, United kept the ball fairly easily and could transition behind the PSG midfield. And this indirectly contributed to the winner. When Fred has the ball, United now have an extra man free between the lines in Pogba. Rashford has dropped deeper into the space vacated by Danilo as he looks to shift across on the cover.
Pogba was on for 23 minutes by the way, just saying.
Rashford gets on the ball, and though Danilo tries to make up the gap, he gets away and scores.
That's what I'm saying, of all the chances Rashford had, he scores that one right there, blood. Of all the chances he had, that's the one that he bangs in, fam. That's what I'm saying, it's rough around the edges. You know what I mean? But if he's doing this now, fam, when he eventually gets to that stage where he matures and learns certain things, fam, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with, but not cap.
And though Danilo tries to make up the gap, he gets away and scores. Overall, in a closely contested match, United will be delighted to begin their campaign with a solid win. But what else did you notice in the game? Drop it down below and start a discussion. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would go a long way. And a special thanks to all my Patreons, including Adam Lace, who has recently joined the Ultra tier. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.
Shout out to him, fam, you know what I mean, fam? That was a nice little analysis vid, fam, so go check him out, fam. Obviously, this is what he does on the channel, fam. He breaks things down. Football made simple. Some of you might need to come onto here, blood, so you can, you know what I mean? But and I've only been watching football since since 2015, blood. Because when I was younger, I never liked football, blood. I always had friends that played football, never liked it. Then I eventually said, you know what, I've always had friends that got into foot that like football. So 2015, I started playing it actually. And then like 2016, 17, that's when I started to watch it, but so I still have a lot to learn in terms of just watching the game and analysing and knowing, like, you know what I mean, off rip, blood, like seeing what tactics the managers using, formations, blood, who's playing which role and how they're playing, you get me, fam. So I still got a lot to learn, but more so, fam, I understand the basics, fam. I can, you know what I mean, have a conversation with someone about a game and thing, so I know, you know what I mean? I know my stuff. I know my stuff, but I still got a bit more to learn. Though, you get me with it. But yeah, that was a good, nice little vid from shout out Football Made Simple. Blood, go check him out, fam. And yeah, blood, I'm out of here. That's the last video with the day. This Friday, I finally remembered to upload this thing. You know what I mean? Football Fridays, fam. I finally remembered. But yeah, in a bit, people.
From what you heard, you know this a banger. Too many flavors, I'm a chimichanga. Wait for the sequel, cliffhanger. I got bangers on bangers on bangers. My punches hit hard like a hammer. I ain't an artist, I ain't a rapper. This just a hobby, spare time swagger. Walk in the room like I'm a gangster. All eyes on me. Shout out Pat, get lit in the front, get lit in the back. Nick, knack, patty whack. You thought I fell off, psych, nah. You knew me for years, didn't know I had this. Neither did I, it must be magic. Bang this out, make it a classic.